Good morning, YouTube. It is January 21st, 2024, 9:23 a.m. Central Standard Time. I just finished having a quarter life crisis. Hopefully not midlife crisis. That would probably be not preferable. But a quarter life crisis, talking about how time is scary to me. And before you know it, we'll be looking back in 30 years saying, "Oh, what happened to the good old days? What happened to the good old days?" If you're watching this on YouTube, you could check this out live every morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, quarter life crises and all, crises, on playback.tv/slightly biased, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time every morning. If you're watching this on playback.tv/slightly biased, you can watch this on YouTube, the Slightly Biased Clips channel. Yay! Everyone on YouTube, give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I need 1,000 subscribers on that channel so I can monetize it. Come on, guys. Make it happen, please. I mean, seriously, I got bills to pay, mouths to feed. Okay? Kojo Muse? Why is there a Corey Joseph Muse in here? Corey Joseph Muse. Come on, brother. Have some fucking dignity. All right. What happened across the NBA yesterday? A couple of really good games. I want to start just briefly before we get into the meat and potatoes. In my opinion, the Thunder and Timberwolves are the meat and potatoes. Top two seeds in the Western Conference dueling it out. And some very, very serious underlying issues for one team in that game. Victor Wembanyama. Holy Moses. 24 points. This was his worst game in like weeks. And he had 24 points, 28 minutes, obviously. Played a little bit beyond his minute restriction. Did have 6 turnovers. 6 blocks. And I want to show you one of them. Because one of his blocks... He was turned around. One of his blocks, he literally was facing the opposite direction. Excuse me? What? What? That's in a 1-point game too, by the way. I'm telling you guys, I'm really telling you guys, it's crazy to say because he's been so hyped up. He was so hyped up as a prospect. I mean, NBA, I thought they did a good job. I thought this was a good work by the NBA of like going out of their way to like broadcast his French League games. Going out of their way to broadcast his French League games. Just because they knew he was one of the most hyped draft prospects in the history of the sport. But now he's here. He's playing incredible. It feels like it does not get talked about as much as you would expect. I don't know if it's because he's on a minute restriction, so his stats aren't like super gaudy. It might be just because the Spurs are so terrible. But hello, this guy's playing at a fucking absurd level. And defensively, he's the truth, man. This guy's going to be a problem. Bagley had another good game. Bagley quietly, like 20 and 10 games. Every game as a Wizard. I'm actually trying to think. If the Spurs make an actual effort this offseason to get players next to Wemby that makes sense. No, I don't want to say that out loud. No, I'm going to say it out loud. Could Wemby be like pushing top 10 in the league next year? And listen, before you guys say anything, just listen. His per 36 stats are absurd. Okay? And his defense is incredible. Like, he could win Defensive Player of the Year next year. He might finish, but it's all said and done. He might finish second in Defensive Player of the Year voting this year. Bagley playing well maybe helps a certain team get Gafford. That's true. That's a good point. Possible. Gafford is expendable. I mean, everybody. I hate this. Like, if you're a team this shit, everybody on your team should be tradable. That's how I feel personally. Even if you're a young team, especially if you're a young team like the Pistons, who have been young and trying to be good for years now. You should have no untouchables on your roster, honestly. If somebody comes in with the right package and we could just blow this shit up to smithereens, we'll do it. So anyways, I just wanted to start with that. With Victor Wembanyama getting a no-look block. That's a new one. A no-look block. Who was it? Was it Kawhi who had a no-look steal that one time? Did you guys remember the highlight I'm talking about? I don't remember what year or who he was playing, but he just was standing there and somebody tried to throw a bounce pass. It was against Harden. Kawhi had one where someone tried to throw a bounce pass, like a pocket pass or something, and Kawhi just stuck his arm out and stole it. God. It doesn't make any sense how good these guys are. It just doesn't make any sense. All right. Timberwolves and Thunder. Harden did have a no-look strip. I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually want to pull up the Kawhi no-look steal. Can I find it really quickly before we dive into this game? Kawhi Leonard no-look steal. Yeah, we'll talk about that quote here in a second.
When he gets his legs into his shot, his mechanics are excellent. Oh my goodness, what a play. Diving stop by Leonard. Mechanics are excellent.
What the?
Diving stop by Leonard. Overplay.
Holy shit, he's so good, man. He's so good. All right. Timberwolves and Thunder. The Thunder win in a game where, if I'm a Thunder fan, there's two ways to go about this game. If I'm a Thunder fan, I'm leaving this game going, oh my God, we just went into Minnesota, had a comeback win in the fourth quarter in a game where we played like fucking trash. In a game where we played like absolute shit. We beat the number one seed in the Western Conference on the road. But if I'm the Timberwolves, I'm looking at this saying, we only lost by 5. We played like absolute shit as well. But here's the problem. The Timberwolves. Well, do you need me to tell you what jumps out at the fucking page? Okay, when we look at these, the numbers, the box score here, what jumps off the fucking page? In a shocking way. Rudy Gobert, 1 of 6. Well, not really Rudy Gobert. Yes, Mike Conley had a terrible game. And that's another problem for them, where it's like, if Mike Conley has a horrible game, we're going to lose. That kind of feels 14 points in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about 21 turnovers. 21 turnovers. Which is a shocking number. How many of these in the fourth would be my question. I think I'm going to do a video on the main channel today talking about this game and just the Timberwolves' horrible turnover problem. It's exactly in the last Power Rankings video. I said this, but I didn't have the Timberwolves as a real contender. I said, dude, they turn the ball over way too fucking much. That's like a recipe for disaster. Like that. That's how you lose playoff games right there. That's how you slip up and you're hosting. I don't know who can be an 8 seed this year. Let's just assume the Timberwolves have the best record in the West. Who could be like the 8 seed? You're playing, I don't know, the Lakers, the Jazz. And next thing you know, it's game 2. You lost game 1 because the other team got red hot from 3. Okay, that shit can happen. Let's bounce back in game 2. Wait, what? We had 23 turnovers. Now we're down 2-0 going on the road. Oh my God, what the fuck just happened? In the fourth quarter, the Timberwolves had 7 turnovers. Oh my God. Anthony Edwards had 3. Naz Reid had 2. Seven turnovers in one quarter is shocking. The Thunder had 8 turnovers the whole game. That's how you lose games, man. That's how you lose games. That's how you lose games that you shouldn't lose. 8 points off turnovers for the Thunder in the fourth quarter. A game they won by 5. Really, a game they won by 3. If you wanna go that route. Obviously, we'll talk about the Anthony Edwards disaster at the free throw line. But 2 free throws at the very end put the game away for the Thunder. Spam call every morning 9:30. Every morning 9:30, a fucking spam call. Timberwolves are the actual frauds people thought the Nuggets were last year. The Timberwolves scream early playoff exit to me, especially in their current state. In their current state of affairs, they scream it. They absolutely scream it. Is there... I want to see like a game-by-game game log for a team, for team stats. Is there like a website? I thought Basketball Reference had that, but I can't seem to find it. Debt collectors calling. No, it's just some spam-ass phone call. But these turnover problems are a serious, serious issue for the Timberwolves. And I don't know. This just kind of feels like something Ant's going to have to learn over time because his turnover problems are bad. His turnover problems are a real issue for them, especially late in games, because he's going to have the ball in his hands more often than not. The Timberwolves right now have the 3rd highest turnover rate in the NBA, trailing only Utah, interestingly enough, who's the worst, and Detroit. And you look at the teams in this mix, Portland, Memphis. These are bad teams. These are bad teams, and I'm actually interested, like, if we just go back to, I don't know, Christmas. What these stats look like, because the Jazz have, like, really turned it on. Oh, Minnesota's dead last since Christmas. Comfortably, actually. Comfortably. And their offense is 18th. That's not good enough. That's not going to cut it. You know? That's not good enough to win. I always feel bad when we talk about teams like these. Like Minnesota. Because it's like, whenever I shit on Minnesota or shit all over the Kings, I feel bad because I'm like, you know, it is awesome, though. It is awesome that a team that's historically not been very good is having a great season like this. But then the fact that they are having such a great season, it's because they get hype from their fan base and you kind of have to humble them. No, it's not necessarily that. It's more so because they're having great seasons, they get talked about. It's like the Timberwolves are the 1 seed. So you got to talk about them like a 1 seed. The Kings were a 3 seed last year, so you had to talk about them like a 3 seed. Like, I don't really know. They're good, but epic playoff collapse incoming. T-Wolves this year's 2021 Suns. The 2021 Suns were really good. There's a difference between hating and being realistic. Yeah, I think that's a better way to put it. It is just being realistic about their chances at winning. Their chances at winning in April, May, and June. That's what it boils down to. And then, of course, you had the Anthony Edwards horrible, horrendous foul by Lou Dort at the end of the game. The Timberwolves are down by 3. They run a nice little play to get Anthony Edwards a pretty good look at a 3. I think there was something like 6 seconds left in the game. They have no timeouts. They have to go the full length of the floor down 3. They inbounded up to Mike Conley around half court. Anthony Edwards gets like a running start, gets the ball, gets a good look at 3. Horrible foul by Lou Dort, fouls the shooter. And then Anthony Edwards missed all 3 free throws. And looked scared. Like, I don't know. I think Anthony Edwards definitely has some dog in him, but he looked horrified. Like, there was pee on the ground. Missed all three. The last one was intentional. The last one was intentional. But hey, even the intentional miss, he missed the rim entirely. He hit like the top of the backboard. So even fucked that up. I think there's a so so I don't know. I don't know the full lore here, but just watching the game, it feels like there's something between those two. Anthony Edwards was like staring down Shea the entire game. I don't know if there's like some off court, like they're friends, but they're just uber competitive, but they're friendly off the court. I have no idea. I don't think so. It doesn't seem that way. Is it the Canada versus USA game? Like it seemed like some real animosity there, which I'm 100% here for. Yeah, I'm 1,000% here for a rivalry like that. That would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. Ant isn't even in the same league as Shea. Shea's definitely better, but also he's been around longer. He's supposed to be better at this point. But yeah, B-Dot said it. I saw this stat too. Ant complaining about that. In their games that they've played, the Thunder and Timberwolves have played 3 times. Ant has shot more free throws than SGA. I know Heyman's not complaining. No way Heyman is complaining. Give me liberty, give me fire, give me free throws after I scream hey or I retire. I know he's not saying anything. Anyways, this is a real problem. If they don't clean this up, they're going to lose early than they want in the playoffs. They're going to lose earlier than they want in the postseason. They're going to have some absolute meltdown games turning the ball over wise. If they do clean that up, their defense is so fucking good that they'll have a real chance at making a long, sustainable run. Because their size will just overwhelm people in the playoffs. But again, you turn the ball over a ton, you're going to have a hard time winning when the game slows down. And you need buckets and you need points. It's going to be really difficult. It's going to be really difficult at the fourth quarter when teams realize, hey, send some ball pressure at Anthony Edwards. He'll turn the ball over. Or, hey, play physical on Cat. He'll elbow you in the fucking jaw, and he'll get an offensive foul. Hey, put ball pressure on Gobert the moment he touches the ball. He'll piss himself and turn the ball over. I'm not making a video. I'm not ranking the 30 coaches. God, no way. How do you rank a coach? One, I do not have the basketball knowledge to do that. Two, I don't watch enough games. If you're gonna rank a coach, I feel like you have to watch damn near all of their games. Rank each coach on their aura. You know who has great coaching aura? And this is a good segue to the other game. So anyways, great win for the Thunder. SGA, a mid 33-point game. You know who's got great coaching aura? Will Hardy. You want to know how I know he's a great coach? This was an unbelievable game, by the way. But you want to know how I know he's a great coach? He looks just like on the verge of having complete and total fucking meltdown on the sideline at any given moment. That's how I know he's a great coach. That's how I know he's a great coach. Anyways, this was an insane game. Overtime, Jordan Clarkson missed. Oh, here's the video right here. I can't believe Jordan Clarkson. Good video quality by ESPN, though, when you think about it. Like, when you think about it in the year of our Lord 2024, that's the type of video quality. I can't believe he smoked that, man. He had a great game, too. I just can't believe he smoked that. Tough one. Şengün missed 2 free throws right there, like right before that sequence. Jamal Mosley's got a lot of coaching order, too. That clip of him being irate after the after some of the Embiid whistles was so funny. What the fuck? What are we fucking watching? Imo Udoka's got a good one too. Oh, but this was a really fun game right here. A much needed win for the Rockets, who have been struggling mightily lately. And this is like, for the Rockets playing hopes, this is a really important matchup for them. Like, they need to win this series so they can have tiebreakers. That was a big win. Şengün, career high, 37. Our tied his career high. 14 rebounds, 8 offensive, 6 assists. Fred VanVleet fouled out. Wanted them to challenge the 6th foul. It was a clear and obvious foul. Horrible challenge. Cam Whitmore? Hold on now. Cam Whitmore. When it comes to scoring, he's legit. When it comes to everything else, the light needs to turn on when it comes to literally everything else. But the scoring stuff is 100% as real as it gets. And he's got a lot of potential. I'd be really excited if I were a Rockets fan when it comes to Cam Whitmore. Yeah, Amen Thompson had that great block at the end of the game. The Thompson twins do everything great but scoring. And the scoring and offensive stuff feels so far away for them at times that it's not a guarantee that they get it figured out. And if they don't get it figured out, then they'll just be, kind of who they are, which is really, really, strong role players. But obviously their ceiling is much higher than that if offensively. But yes, this was an incredible block. By Amen Thompson. Yeah, great help. Great help, great timing, great anticipation. Great job. A great job. So a nice win for the Rockets. Really fun game. Overtime, back and forth. Colin Sexton was doing Colin Sexton things, talking shit. 11 of 27 from the field. But I thought he was pretty good, though, especially down the stretch. They couldn't get Markkanen the ball at all in the fourth quarter, in the overtime. I thought that was interesting. Like, they just couldn't get him the ball. Walker Kessler, 5 blocks. His timing on blocks is insane. Like, it's insane how good he is blocking shots. He's got like a crazy double jump. I forgot who he blocked at one point in this game. Was it Jabari Smith? Where he bit on a pump fake a little bit, but recovered. Yeah, it was Jabari. Jabari got him to bite on a pump fake. He jumped up a little bit, but somehow just jumped up immediately after. Like, it didn't even make sense, and blocked the shot. I mean, he's just an insane shot blocker. And then Clarkson off the bench, 33 points. This was a fun game. What else did we have across the league? The Pistons lose to the Bucks. Didn't watch this game. Damn, the Pistons put up 135 points. The fuck happened? Dame went off. How was this game even close? Dame with 45, Giannis with 31. It was a Dame foul bay masterclass, 16 free throws. Blech! See, at least like Shea is one of the shiftiest players in the league and craftiest players in the league. So him getting free throws makes sense. He drives more than anybody in the league. I cannot stand Dame's foul baiting. It doesn't make any sense to me. Cannot stand it. Oh, I did see a tweet from Asar Thompson's been playing really well lately. 10 of 15. Damn. 22 points. Sixers beat the Hornets. Embiid's 30-point streak continues. 33 points for Embiid, 10 rebounds, 11 of 23. Spurs beat the Wizards. We already talked about that. Cavs blow out the Hawks. Look at the consistency from the Hawks. 20 points in the first quarter, but then 25, 25, 25. Couldn't keep the streak of insane buzzer beaters going. The Cavs just continue to roll, and not only roll, but just like shit all over teams. Seven games in a row that they've won, and none of them have really been close except this Spurs game. Mavs finally got a couple days rest. Play Celtics on a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. Hopefully this can start a good run. Yeah, hopefully. Cavs might trade Mobley. I think what this is showing for the Cavs more than anything else is like having two small guards on the floor together might not be the best thing. Having two bigs like that on the floor together might not be the best thing. That like each of them are good enough individually to be really good. But there's just a lot of redundancy when they're all playing. Does that make sense? Dean Wade, 5 of 6 from 3. How about that? Knicks blow out the Raptors in the return of RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly. Julius Randle had a triple-double. Jalen Brunson had 38 points. He's really good, folks. Bulls blow out the Grizzlies. Okay. That's that in the NBA last night. Bulls 2 games under 500. What do we think? These teams, man. Just like when they're it feels like they're on the verge of blowing it all up finally. They like go on winning stretches and they're like, well, hold on now. That's so embarrassing for the Hawks that they're a half game up on the Nets. The Nets are like the Nets have like not won games lately, it feels like. Besides the Lakers, hilariously enough. Yeah, the Grizzlies' loss is bad for the Mavericks. But I mentioned this at the time, like, whenever a player gets like John Morant gets ruled out for the rest of the season, sometimes there's like a weird galvanizing thing. Like the locker room's like, all right, we need to rally behind John Morant. Come on, guys, show him we can do it. All right, let's talk about some trade rumors going around. You guys can dictate the conversation from here on out. You guys need to dictate the conversation. So according to Matt Moore, wait, does Matt Moore have 2 Twitter accounts? Yeah. Matt Moore, a.k.a. HP Basketball. The Kings, Mavericks, and Pistons have shown exploratory trade interest in Miles Bridges. A difficult one for so many different reasons. Obviously, you have the fact that the domestic abuse thing. He's a domestic abuser, so that's already kind of a line in the sand for a lot of people, as it fucking should be. Beyond that, the big beyond that, but beyond that, he accepted his qualifying offer. Any team that trades for him, one, he has a no trade clause, but I'm sure he'd waive it. But any team that trades for him is not going to have his bird rights. So you are getting a rental. Like, you're not going to be able to afford him in the offseason, more than likely. I have no idea. He hasn't been like incredible this year or anything, but There's no way Matt Moore has sources. I don't know. He's got a pretty big account. Sometimes sources means just like talking to other people who have sources. Asking around, like, hey, have you heard anything from this team? Sometimes the sources are people with sources and not necessarily people who are directly in the know. So I don't know. I'd said this yesterday on the stream. Like, will there be some teams who call about PJ Washington and who are like, you know what, throw Miles Bridges in there too? We can really upgrade our wing depth in one trade. But I don't know. There's a million different reasons why. There's a million different reasons why I don't think this trade happens, or a trade happens. The PR crisis a team will be in after this trade. And just having to explain to fans, hey, we traded for this guy who has a domestic abuse accusations that seem pretty rock solid. He just came off of suspension because he pretty much did that shit. And but the good news is he's not having the greatest season, and the better news is we'll probably lose him in a couple months. So we're selling our soul to the devil for like 3 months. Do the Mavs trade for PJ and just buy out Miles? Well, why would they do that? It's like Kevin Porter Jr., but the Thunder had the cap space to waive him without a problem. I remember at the time, people were, when it was kind of obvious that the Rockets were going to try to trade Kevin Porter Jr. somewhere and give up like a second round pick or something in the process just to get off his contract, I kind of wanted the Mavericks to do it, only because I knew the Mavericks would release him. Like whatever team traded for him would release him immediately. And I just thought this is actually kind of a smart way to just get some asset that you can use down the line. This one makes no fucking sense to me at all. The Pelicans are open to moving Herb Jones per HP Basketball. The Pelicans are thought to be open to moving Herbert Jones. They're high on Jones, but it'll be difficult for the team to pay their stars, Jones and Trey Murphy III. I doubt this one greatly. It doesn't make any sense. I seriously doubt this one. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe they're really concerned about Herb Jones in the playoffs. But even then, here's his contract over the next 4 years. $12 million this year, $12 million next year, $13 the year after that, $14 the year after that. That's below mid-level. I really don't understand why they would trade him. Yeah, the only explanation is poor owners. They haven't paid the luxury tax ever, and if they do want to give Trey Murphy's contract's going to be way bigger than that. So maybe they're thinking to themselves, we got to get off of Herb to pay Trey Murphy, and then we also kind of need a center, so we know we're going to have to pay somebody to come in. But yes, if he's available, he makes a lot of sense for a lot of teams, you know. He makes a lot of sense for a lot of teams. There will be a pretty there will be a pretty serious market for Herb Jones if I had to guess. Do the Pels move on from any of the BI, CJ, or Zion? if they flame out in the postseason or something, I definitely could see some major shakeups. They have won a THJ in the past. You know the thing about the old days. I don't understand this. Obviously, yes. People were tagging me in this tweet. Yes, obviously. Herb Jones to the Mavericks would be incredible. But again, I think his market would just be very robust. Lakers are interested in Spencer Dinwiddie. So Dinwiddie's going to get traded again, it seems like. I'm interested to see if he bounces back. Dinwiddie seems like a player where he's got to be in the right spot, or else he's just not going to check in mentally. I kind of respect him in a way. He's kind of like a modern day working class king when you think about it. Like, hey, I hate this fucking job. I hate this company. You're not getting real effort out of me. All right. I'm showing up. I'm doing bare minimum, and I'm getting the hell out of here. Fuck you. I respect that in a lot of ways. When it comes to building a winning basketball team, though, that's a little bit different. But yes, we did see something very similar with Spencer Dinwiddie just a couple years ago. Like, horrible vibes with the Washington Wizards. Sounded like he didn't give a shit at all. They all hated him, thought he was a bad locker room guy. Traded to the Mavericks, then played really well. And the team made the Western Conference Finals. So, Lakers fans would absolutely hate Spencer Dinwiddie. Lakers fans would absolutely hate him. You know what? I can't stand to see Dorian Finney-Smith on the Lakers. He's been rumored to go there. I can't stand to see that. I can't stand to see my boy Dodo get just slandered by Lakers fans endlessly because he went 4 of 8 from 3 instead of 7 of 8. I just can't do it. I can't do it. It'll break my heart to see Doe like that. I'm kind of interested to see where Dinwiddie ends up. I've seen Mavs fans say the Mavs, like, what? Why? The Sixers are interested in acquiring Tyus Jones. Philadelphia is willing to trade multiple second-round picks, but the Wizards want a first-round pick in exchange for their starting point guard. Interested to see where Tyus Jones ends up, too. Lots of interesting destinations. I think the Timberwolves are the best one. A little reunion there. Spurs should go get him. Spurs would be good. I think the Spurs should set their sights a little bit higher. But the Spurs would be good. Heat for Tyus Jones is interesting. They need a point guard. Knicks for Tyus Jones. They'll get that first round pick, I think. There'll be a team that needs a point guard desperately enough. So some team out there will give them what they want. He's a free agent at the end of the season, isn't he? Scary Terry's probably getting moved. That'll be a big one. Actually, he might not get moved. He still has years left on his contract. And I don't know. If they don't get the return they like, they could always just keep him. Wait for later. Rozier's about to be 30. He still has 2 years after this year left on his deal, so not entirely possible they hold on to him. 23 points per game this year for Terry Rozier. Scary Terry. Jeremy Grant, like, they don't have to trade him either. I don't know. I'm telling you guys, I'm getting a bad feeling about this trade deadline. Like, I'm getting a bad feeling. It feels like the last like few years, there's been one trade at the deadline where you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like last year it was KD. Year before that, the Harden stuff happened. And KP. Trae Young. Kyrie last year too, yeah. That would be so juicy if Trae Young got traded. I kind of feel like he is the one, right? Like, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be like some surprise star trade. But Trae Young's kind of the one. That it checks a lot of the boxes. Hawks were bad, kind of dysfunctional. And there is a team that makes so much sense for Trae in the form of the San Antonio Spurs. However, though, was Greg Popovich not the coach of Team USA when they pretty much told Trae Young to fuck off? Gotta remember that. I'm pretty sure that did happen. Well, it's usually teams that are like middling who end up trading stars. LeBron? What are the chances? I say 0 because of the Bronny effect. If Bronny weren't at USC right now playing college basketball, I would actually say LeBron's chances of getting traded midseason were not 0. You said last week T-Wolves are destined for an extremely disappointing first-round exit in cat trade in the offseason. I'm going to pat myself. Anytime the Timberwolves lose like this and people are like, oh, shit, the Timberwolves like in the playoffs, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I said that shit weeks ago. Like, damn, you watch these Timberwolves games and there's just something about them. There's no way they... Cat in the offseason, yeah. I'd be very interested to see where Bronny goes in the draft. Yeah, Bronny might not come out. That's like kind of what I'm seeing some people say now. That I haven't like I've seen some of his highlights. He looks fine, but people are just think that it would be better for him if he did not go to the NBA next year. If he does, some team will draft. You know, even if it's in the second round, like some team will do it just to do it. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at like the point differentials, like the net ratings. I'm looking at the bad teams. I'm just trying to figure out which of these teams can make a shocking trade. Trae Young could be the one. Damn, there's 6 games below 5. Jesus Christ. What are your thoughts on Daniel Gafford? I like him. I mean, I'd be in on it. Daniel Gafford and Deni Avdija like pairing would be kind of interesting in a trade, but I don't even know if it's really possible. What if the Lakers are just like 4 games below 500 at the trade deadline? Why would the Wizards want to move those guys? Deni is did they extend Deni or is he a restricted free agent? I can never remember if he was one of the guys who got extended or not. They did just extend Deni. 15, 14, 13, 11. That's not a bad contract at all. They're not going to trade Deni. He's been really fucking good. Gafford is a little bit different just because, I don't know. He just feels like an expendable guy. You know, like if you're a rebuilding team like the Wizards and some team wants him, you're just like, all right. There's a big trade market for Bruce Brown, which includes the Lakers and Knicks as prime contenders to potentially acquire him per Woj. Um, I saw like an offer from the Knicks that just it makes a lot of sense. It's like Fournier and Grimes for Bruce Brown. It's the one trader I'm like that just makes so much sense for everyone involved. Damn, I can't stop yawning now. I need to go get coffee. Yeah, Bruce Brown also just fits the Knicks to a T. Just fits them to a T. So that makes a lot of sense. The Lakers, what would the Nuggets have to do to get him back? Is that even possible? The problem for the Nuggets is they don't have like bad contracts. They don't have like contracts that are like kind of expensive that they're cool trading. They've built their team too well. That's what the Thunder have done pretty well, is that they always have somebody. They always have some contract in their back pocket to trade. Like they have Bertans this year. The Nets asking price for Dorian Finney-Smith is 2 first-round picks. I did see this. That's their asking price. They'll get a first for Dorian for sure. You always have to remember that first-round picks aren't always like, they don't always mean everything. Like a first-round pick could be a shitty first-round pick. Nuggets just pay a boatload for their starters. Yeah, and all their contracts are good. Like they pay guys who should have gotten paid. They don't have any medium salaries. Yeah. Yeah, like the ones the Pacers sent. Like two shit first rounders in the next draft. Thunder just makes so much sense for Dorian. The Thunder, like Dorian and Claxton, I don't know financially how you have them how it has to happen. Let's try to make one. It does make so much sense. I think Claxton's very much available. I'm just thinking about their team. The Nets should be in the market of trading everybody on their fucking roster. Like there really should be nobody on the roster that's safe. Yeah, even Mikal Bridges, honestly. Like if a team came knocking for Mikal Bridges, Nets, Thunder, let's see. Dorian. What if Mikal is the surprising one, huh? This is how these talks work. What if the Thunder are talking with, the Nets about Dorian, maybe Claxton. They're kind of exchanging some back and forth. Oh, okay, we'll do this. Then they say, wait, what about Mikal? Like, how many more picks do we need to attach to get him? Oh, Claxton's only making $9 million this year. Bertans and what? Micic? Kenrich? Poku? Wait, does this work financially? Well, there you go. And then add whatever picks you need to make this happen. add whatever picks you need to add to make this happen? Can we just see the picks? 30 fucking 6. All right. Clippers. Clippers pick. Not going to be a good one. They got 3 picks in this draft. They can't use all of those, man. Next year, they have a Miami first. Go Phillies first. That's probably not going to be good. Nets ask for Wallace. The Thunder tell them to go fuck themselves. Look at all these picks, man. I mean, they're going to have to get off of multiple, like pretty much all of these picks. So we'll give them Utah or Houston. Which one would you rather have? Utah or Houston's pick in this upcoming draft? They're both Houston's top 4 protected, Utah's top 10. I think I'd rather have Houston's. Houston and Utah are pretty much the same exact record right now. Like, it's just, who do you think is going to be better between now and the end of the season? So let's think about this trade. You're the Nets. You're not getting any interesting players, which sucks. But you're getting 3 firsts. But they're not great firsts. I mean, you're getting the Clippers first, which will be mid to late 20s. Houston first, which is top 4 protected. I mean, that might be a mid lottery. Maybe. Like, into the lottery. Which the Thunder have had some real success with over the years. Next year's Philly first, which probably won't be good. Maybe they want like Bang or something. Would the salary still work if you took out Poku and added Usman Jang? I have no idea. Like, are Thunder fans still high on Usman Jang? I thought Usman Jang was gonna be really good, but I'm not so sure anymore. I think there's something here. I think this is an interesting trade. Mark Cuban was pretty specific with what the Mavericks are looking for prior to the trade deadline. 6'8" or bigger. Do I need a subscription for this? Well, that's good. The Mavericks know what they need. Home run swings. Draymond Green, Miles Bridges, Vucevic. Home run swings. Who's swinging for a fucking home run? David Eckstein? High price, probably still too steep. Wiggins. Jeremy Grant. Dorian Finney-Smith. Jared Allen. Mobley. Eric Mobley. Eric Mobley. That's actually Evan Mobley's dad. Is it? Is that Evan Mobley? Is that his dad? He coaches at USC. It would be kind of crazy if it's not. Oh, he passed away in 2021. What the fuck? I'm very confused as to what I'm reading. There might be multiple Eric Mobley. All right, anyways. Clay Capella, Boyan. Capella's probably not going to be that. AJ Griffin, Kelly Olynyk, Jonathan Kuminga, Daniel Gafford. Like, what? More attainable. I guarantee you Clay Capella is probably easier to get than Jonathan Kuminga. Or Gafford, even, maybe. Or Jonas. We're not just going to trade Jonas without some type of a replacement for Jonas. How is Kuminga more available than Wiggins? I think what he's saying here, this being high price, is that Wiggins' contract is high price. He's in the first year of a 4-year, $109 million contract. Not necessarily that like the trade would be too expensive, but that the contract is expensive. I'm about to send this to one of my Thunder friends. See what he thinks. See what he thinks. I feel like the Nets say no to this trade. I feel like they're not getting enough. You watch NFL games yesterday? Partially. Was doing like chores and shit during the Ravens game. I am rooting for the Ravens to win it all. So shout out to Lamar. Big trust. I mean, the thing about a trade like this is the Thunder can make this trade and still have plenty of assets to go after a star. I don't think they would do it, is the thing. Like, I don't think they really need to. I think trades like these just make more sense over time. Just getting a bunch of really strong role players. And then, yeah, the Packers and Niners game, that was a good, fun game. Yeah, Jordan Love did go full Brett Favre there. Come on, man. It's the Super Bowl. This isn't Detroit. Pretty excited about the games today, to be honest with you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Every morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Playback.tv/slightlybiased. Goodbye.